This video introduces the multiplication algorithm when we are multiplying teen numbers. So what I've found is that some kids can get confused at first about how to set up the problems with Cuisenaire Rods. So the best thing to start out with is instead of 13 times 12, start out with 13 times 10. So you have 13 and you're going to get 10 of them. So this side is 10, this side is 13. And then what you can say is, well, hey, we have 10 tens here, right? Don't you think it would be easier instead of grabbing 10 tens to grab just 100 square? And your student will hopefully say, yes, that will be easier. And then you can say, well, hey, we have 10 threes here. Wouldn't it be easier instead to have 3 tens? Let's trade that. And then you can ask your student, do we still have 13 on this side and 10 on this side? And they should say yes. And if they don't, then you need to not move on to this. You need to keep practicing that. So at this point we have 13 times 10, and then you say, how about 13 times 11? So let's add that. So, and actually, you know what? Let me add it up here. This side. So now we have 13 still on this side, but now we have 11 on this side. And let's do one more and do 13 times 12. So here we have 13 on this side and 12 on this side. So originally we had 10 13s. Then we had added another 13, that was 11 13s, and now 12 13s. And so that's how you can help your students understand that. So once you're to this point, they understand that this is representing 13 times 12. You do a bunch of these without the algorithm or without the symbols being introduced at all. So do a bunch of these so that they can begin to do them in their head. And then you can, once they're comfortable with that, introduce the formula here that I'm going to show you. So the first thing we are going to do is go like that. Okay, so our tens will kind of be together, and our ones will be together, and our hundreds by itself there. So first thing we do is 2 times 3. Well, hey, look at that. 2 and 3 on that side. 2 times 3 is 6, right? Then we do 2 times 10. Oh, look here. 2 times 10 is 20. So we then are going to put our 2 right there to represent 2 tens. Okay? And then we have no ones here to multiply. So we put a 0 in the ones place. And now in the tens place we have 10 times 3. Here is 10 times 3. It's not a very good 3, but and that is 30. Put a 3 down there. That represents 30. 3 in the tens place. And then 10 times 10. This is not 1 times 1. This is 10 times 10. A 1 in the tens place means 10. Okay, so here we have 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, and we're just going to add all that up together. And so if they're going to do it the traditional way, they'll start with the ones, of course. 6 and 0 is 6. That's their 6 there. 2 tens and 3 tens would be 5 tens. Notice I don't say 2 and 3 is 5. 2 tens and 3 tens is 5 tens. Here's our 2 tens, there's our 3 tens, 5 tens, and our 100. So 150, and if they really want to, they can trade the 2 3s for a 6. 156. Okay, 16 times 14. So we have 16 across, there's 10 and 6, and we have 14 up, 10 and 4. So we've made a rectangle with 16 on one side and 14 on the other. So what we are going to do is pull these apart like so. And we are going to do 6 times 4 first. So we have 6 here and 4 here. That's 24. So in fact, it's probably a good idea to trade that for 24. Okay, so we had 4 6s. We traded it for 24. And so now I'm going to put my 4 down here to represent my 1s. And I'm going to put my 2 10s up here. And I'm going to do the same thing with my symbols. So I'll put a 4 in the 1s place and 2 10s up here to help me remember that I have those. And then I'm going to do 4 times 10. And that is this right here. There's 4 on this side. And there's 10 on this side. And that's 40. But remember, I still have these 2 more 10s, so that would be 60. So 64 altogether. And if you want, you can even bring it down here. Okay. So we have 64 when we multiplied 4 times 16. Now we have to multiply 10 times 16. So first we're going to do 10 times 6. So 10 times 6 is 60. So I'm going to write a 6 in the tens place here, and I can put 0 there as a placeholder, okay, because I didn't multiply any 1s. And so I have 10 times 6, and then I have 10 times 10. 10 on this side, 10 on this side. So that would be 100. And then I'm just going to add them together. I still have 4 1s here. And then 6 10s plus 6 10s would be 12 10s. So I can take 10 of those 10s and replace it with 100 so that I have 2 10s and a 100 that I bring over here. And then my 200s I will add together, and that is 200. So 224. 224. 19 times 12. This will be our last problem for this video. So let's pull these apart like this. Okay. And the first thing we are going to do is 19 times 2. And even further, we're going to break that apart and do 9 times 2. So 9 times 2 is 18. So let's trade those 2 9s for a 10 and an 8. 18. And we'll bring our 8 down here. Put our 8 down here. And we'll bring our 110 and put it up here for now. Just keep track of it. And then we're going to do 2 times 10. 2 times 10. That would be 20. And don't forget about our extra 10 right here. So altogether that is 30. So we have 38 when we multiplied 19 times 2. Now we're going to multiply 19 times 10. See over here, this side is 19 and that side's 10. So we're multiplying 19 times 10 next. First we're going to multiply 10 times 9. So there's 10 on this side, 9 on this side. That would be 90 altogether. So I'll put a 9 in the 10s place and 0 in the 1s place. And then over here we are going to multiply 10 times 10. 10 on this side, 10 on that side. That would be 100. Okay. And then we just want to add it all together. So we have our 8 1s. That's 8. And then we have 3 10s and 9 10s. And we can trade 10 of those for 100 and put it over there. So we now have 2 10s And we'll put the 100 up there, okay? And then we're going to add 100 and 100, and that is 200. So what we have is 228, 228.